I'm under a rock. And tonight is deemed youth night. And more than anything, I want us to know what it means to be under the rock. And what it means to come or move away from under the rock. Now we are not speaking of a literal rock that is made up of solid components and that is inactive. No. So it's not a physical rock we are talking about. Paul speaking to the Corinthians in 1 Corinthians chapter 4 from the first verse. He's speaking to them and he's telling them, I don't want you to be ignorant, but I want you to be mindful that our forefathers, they were led out of the wilderness by Moses. And they were baptized in the cloud and in the Red Sea unto Moses. And they all eat of the same spiritual bread. And they all did drink from the same spiritual drink that came from the rock. And that rock is Christ. So the rock tonight that we are speaking of, that we are under, it is Christ. And this rock has everything that you would ever need, that you could ever want, and you could ever desire. This rock will supply it all. You want protection? The rock could give you that. You want comfort? The rock could give you that. You want counsel? The rock could give you that. You need meat and provision? The Lord will. The rock could. Whatever you have need of, the rock can supply that. I want us. Now, first of all, God kind of moved a little way. Well, I find he really moving so these days, changing up our plan last minute, and it really does be a kind of thing, because when I set to go a certain way, I don't fix my mind to go that way. So I wasn't really, I already know where I'm going, so I ain't really putting much study into it, because I know when I'm going to study, I know exactly where to go. And today as lunchtime, I pray and I talk to God and I say, you know, I'm going down to preach and I say for your guidance and help me to deliver what you need people to hear and what I'm praying along them lines. When I'm done praying and when I'm going to read what he already gave me right here, when I reach to open the Bible, he said, no, you will speak on this. So I waited to ask him, well, this more better than this more fitting than this way we're going to talk about. So I'm there and struggling, and when I start reading now what he tells me to read, it changes again. And that is sometimes how it is being under the rock. Information is disseminated, and you must be able to go with what is given unto you. The rock is in charge, and it's the pilot and the architect of your life. So you can't be under the rock and want to do your own thing. Anytime you're doing your own thing, you are not under the rock. Once you are under the rock, you cannot do your own thing. So I want us to look at the one that said that the Lord is my rock and my fortress and my strong tower and my God. So we're going to look a little bit at David. I want to not think too much, because I want to, it's youth night and I really want to speak to the youth. Right? I will speak to everybody, but I want to speak to the youth. Now Samuel Saul, and he said to Saul, the Lord had made thee king over Israel. Now hear the word of the Lord. I want you to go into the camp of Amalek and destroy it. Kill man, kill woman, kill infant, kill suckling, kill sheep, kill oxen, kill ass, kill everything. Because when the children of Israel was coming out of Egypt, Amalek did wait for them in the way and they did them evil. And I, the Lord, did not forget what Amalek did to them. So I want you now to go and destroy Amalek. And destroy everything. Saul received the instruction from the rock. Because he's the rock to each and every one of us that put our trust and confidence in him. And when Saul received the instruction, he gathered his men. And they went down to Amalek. Dwelling in Amalek was some Kenites. And the Kenites treated Israel real good when they was coming out of Egypt. So Saul said to them, depart from amongst the Amalekites, because we are about to destroy them. And all they was kind to us. So we give it all your chance to save all your life. Depart from among them. First lesson to learn tonight. When you have an opportunity to do good to somebody, do it. Whether they could return the favor to you, yes or no, do it. I learned from small that even though you and somebody in pulling or you don't get along good with them, always leave the door of morning, good evening, and good night open. You don't have to carry no long conversation. It could be a neighbor and you don't get along at all, but you see that door? Good morning, and good evening, good night. So in case anytime you should fall down in the road, and that same neighbor who you don't talk to, although they know you don't talk to them, because you still leave morning, evening, and good night open, they might come and assist or take out the phone and call some ambulance or do something to raise some assistance. But if you don't talk to them at all and you're just passing bush, they will see you right there and leave you right there. So when they get the opportunity to do good, do good. And because the Canaanites had done good to the children of Israel, a time come now when the children of Israel returned the favor. And when Saul went in there, they start to kill man, woman, child. Slaughter. Slaughter. And King Agag, sitting on the throne, Saul said, put it aside. During the slaughter, they slaughter an animal, they kill it, but it had some nice fat calf. And look like they could be beneficial to we. We could use this to do some kind of sacrifice to start families. There were some fatlings among the lamb. Them were looking kind of maga and malnourished. Take them out. Don't touch. We save that one. Let's sit to this side. And when they done slaughter, they take which they gathered that they counted as good in the camp of the Amalekites, and they left with it. Anything God tell you to do, He does watch. Any instruction that the Lord gave to you, He does watch to see if you're doing it. And when all is taking place, the Lord is watching. He telling Saul one word. You know, we go to Samuel. He says, Samuel had repented me that I made Saul king. And today, I've taken away the kingdom from him. Because I have instructed him to kill everything in the camp of the Amalekites. And he kept back that which he saw goodly in his own eyes himself. When Samuel heard that, Samuel started to weep and started to cry all night. He petitioned him before the Lord because he know what God said he's going to do, he will do. Amen. Don't care how you feel about it, please or displease, he will do it. Amen. Samuel got up early in the morning and went to Saul. When he went and he meets Saul, Saul said, "Blessed be the God of Israel, who hath favored us." Samuel said, "What have you done?" He said, "I hold back that which is good to make sacrifices unto the Lord, that we may offer burnt offerings and sacrifice." Samuel said, "Because you have done this thing, the Lord hath taken away the kingdom from thee." He said, "Samuel, but how?" He said, "We really keep this back to give it unto the Lord." Samuel said, "When you was a little nothing, you was just a little puny man, the Lord look on thee and call thee out from among your kindred and make you king over many tribes, and all of Israel came out unto you, and you have authority in the land. And I, God, give you an instruction, and when you're going to kill everything, and you say you're saving back thing to sacrifice, is not the Lord more pleased that you will be obedient than sacrifice? The Lord is more concerned that you carry out what he tells you to do. You carry out the instruction that you offer burnt offerings and sacrifice unto him. When Saul heard it, he said, "I did a wrong thing." He said, "I feared the people and I listened to them when they say, let us keep back this for the offering unto the Lord." He said, "Entreat the Lord for me and ask the Lord to have mercy." Samuel said, "The Lord will not have mercy. He already made past judgment." And as Samuel got to walk off, Saul grabbed his skirt of his garment and tear it. And when they tear, Samuel watched him and he said, "Just how you tear that skirt off of my garment, is so the Lord rent the kingdom from your hand." And Samuel said, "Bring Agag and bring all them sheep and all them oxen, because the work had to carry up. You didn't do it, but it has to be done." And when they bring, he started to slaughter. And when he reached Agag, he said, "Just as your sword caused many mothers to be childless, today your mother will feel it like the other mothers. She will lose her son like that." And he slaughtered Agag to pieces. And he left. And he returned to Ramah. And he mourned. And he cried. And he lament. And he mourned. And he cried. And he lament. And he mourned. And he cried. And he lament. God come down. Yes, come on. He said, "How long you will be mourning and crying and lamenting for Saul? Rise up. I have found me a king. Take up your oil and go down." Samuel said, "How I can do that? If Saul see me going with horn and oil down in Bethlehem, he will kill me." The rock does give the instruction. The rock does navigate the whole thing. And you know how to figure out how God will do things. Just trust the process. Sometimes we just take too much of time trying to figure out how to do it. It is not for you to figure out how to do it. God knows how you will get it done. Trust in the Lord. The Lord said, take a heifer, take a calf, and go down and tell them you're coming to sacrifice. So he take up the calf and he going down into Bethlehem. When the elders see him coming, they start to tremble. They say, comest thou peaceably? He said, yes, peaceably I come to sacrifice. Gather all the elders and sanctify yourself. And call Jesse and his sons and let them sanctify themselves. And when Jesse and them sanctified themselves and they came before Saul, Saul told Jesse, I need you to bring your sons and them before me. The firstborn come, Eliab, and Samuel see the man. He says, surely the Lord's anointed is before me. The man has stature to bear and he goodly to look upon. Yeah, after me, this is what God wants. After me, this God will use to represent Israel. God watching the whole. God does watch everything. So while they're going on and God doesn't know what in Samuel, God said, don't even waste your time and look on him. It's not him. He said, man does look at the outward appearance, but God does look at the heart. So God said, I have not chosen him. He tells Jesse send the next one, the second born coming, Abinadab. Now Abinadab passed, the Lord says, not him, I have rejected him. Call the third one, Shammah. Shammah coming and pass. The Lord said, not he. Now why the Lord didn't just tell Samuel who it really is? Why go through all the process? But God knows he do it. We have to trust the process. Because everything that God does, it is teaching for those that were of that time and for us that are in this time. That we know that God don't see as man will see. And when the third one passed, all 7 of Jesse's sons passed. And the Lord said, it is none of them. I have not chosen none of them. Samuel said, you have any more sons? Now, therein puzzling me. Because if Samuel tells Jesse to bring all his sons to come before him, why you didn't go and call that one? It had to be that they didn't really come to him as much in the sight. That he really didn't have favor with them. So he wasn't really, they didn't really favor him. So when they called for his sons, he just bring his 7 sons, who he know is a kind of a right standing. And David wasn't really considered like that. But when God called you, and when God have a desire for you, and when your time has come, nobody cannot stop the hand of God from moving. It doesn't matter where you are, the opportunity will find you. David didn't come to meet them, but they will go out and meet him. So don't care where you are. One mistake in past. Don't jealous nobody. Don't envy nobody. See how people striving and moving up. When your time comes, the opportunity will find you. And when they send, he said, well, I have one out in the field, seeing about the sheep. Someone said, go and fetch him. We will not sit down until he comes. And David come through the door. The word of God says he was a ruddy boy, withal of a good countenance, and goodly to look upon. And as he stand before Samuel, the Lord said, this is he. Arise, take thy oil, and anoint. And Samuel rose up, anointed David. And from the time he had anointed David, the Spirit of God rests upon David from that time and onward. And Samuel left and went back to Ramah. And the Spirit of God had departed from Saul. And an evil spirit from the Lord came and rested upon Saul. And when this evil spirit rests upon Saul, he can't find no peace within himself. He restless, his countenance changing, he can't function. And one of his servants, they say, an evil spirit from the Lord is upon thee. Find a man who is able to play an instrument. Peradventure, when the evil spirit come on you, he will play with the harp, and the evil spirit will depart from you. Saul said, well, that is good, but where would I find such a man? One of the servants said, there is a man from the house of Jesse who is very cunning on the instrument, and a man of good reputation, one very prudent in matters, one that good to look upon. I wonder if it's David they're talking about. Because when David come in, they say he was a ruddy boy. Just had a good countenance and good to look. How all of a sudden now he prudent in matters. He's a man of valor, a man of war. He's a man. Where this characteristics, how this servant of Saul describing David like that. And in David's house, they don't see David like that. Sometimes of a truth, a prophet have no honor in the country. Where you go get home when you're outside, is big. People will, you will get it from on the outside, but home, they ain't seen you, they ain't hear you, they ain't know you. So he says, send and get the young man. Now the rock is working it. The rock is setting everything in motion. The rock is orchestrating and architecting David's life. He's setting up David for the blessing. But David didn't know. And I want us to bear in mind that all things work together for good to they that love God and that are called according to his purpose. Regardless of how situations look, as long as you are under the rock. Now the rock not because you're under the rock means you will have trial and you will have temptation and that you will face hardship. The rock, you will get all of that and you're still under the rock. And you might say, well, then where's the sense? I've been under the rock if I still have to go through hardship. If I still have to face trial, it's best I don't go under the rock, because if I stay out there, it's the same thing. The chances of you surviving outside the rock, when there is an enemy who's like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour, it wouldn't last not even 2 days. But under the rock, though we are pressed, and we are tried, and we are prosecuted, we are still standing. Because the rock is a sure foundation and present help in the time of trouble. So David gone into Saul's house and he stand before Saul. And when Saul saw him, Saul fell in love with him. And Saul made him his armor bearer. And Saul sent back to Jesse's house and tell Jesse, let David remain with me, for I have found favor in him. And so when the evil spirit came upon Saul, David came and played with the harp, and the spirit departed, and Saul's soul was at peace. And there came a time the children of Israel set themselves in array against the Philistines. The Philistines assembled on one side of the mountain, and the children of Israel assembled on the next side of the mountain. And out of the Philistines came a champion fighter by the name of Goliath. The stature of Goliath was 6 cubits and a span. I googled it and they tell me that is 9.9 feet. I'm not sure, but I will Google it. But for God to put it in writing, he hides in the Bible, it means that was a big man. So he was 6 cubits and a span. And he had on a coat made of mail. And the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. And the spear that he held in the hand was like a weaver's beam. And the head of the spear was 600 shekels of iron. And before him went a man bearing a shield. And this Goliath said, this day send out a man from in Israel to fight with me. And if the man defeat me, we will serve all you. And if I defeat the man, then all you will serve with. Know that I will defy the children of Israel. But when Saul and them hear that, and they see the size of Goliath and the way the man armed himself, because all his leg was iron, between his shoulder blades was iron, they get frightened. They start to tremble. And every day, the Philistines and them drawing closer. And there's a valley between them. They keep coming down closer. They cry the same cry. Send out a man to fight with us. And one day, David left. David was a real good son. David left from in Saul's palace to go home to see about the father's sheep. And that just speaks plenty about the character of David. Because he don't have to do that. He's sitting in king's palace, eating king's food, living up to his best. He don't have to come home to see about no sheep and smell like no sheep. But he come home to go to feed because the rock is in effect. David is being guided and not even aware that the Lord is guiding him. So when he come home to feed the sheep, his father said to him, go down to the battle and see how your brother and them doing. And take here some parched corn and 10 bread and carry for them. Also take these 10 pieces of cheese and carry it for the captain of the 1,000. And he said, and find out how they go in and make sure that they fare well and bring them back the report. David said, okay. He took everything, he saddled it up, and he went back to the sheep. And in the morning, he get up very early, and he took the carriage and he leave his sheep with somebody that was in the field, and he going down to the battle to carry things for his brother. When he reached down to the battle, the battle now reached 40 days. And the children of Israel set themselves in array against the Philistines. They close to one another like this now. And Goliath come out. When David see it, David leave the carriage with all the bread and all the cheese and all the popcorn, and he run down in the army. When he run down in the army, he started to salute the brethren and them. He said, what is going on? How things going? Whatever. And he there and he talking with them, and he hear Goliath come out and talk. And Goliath come out and speak from the time before. He said, the devil will defy the children of Israel. Send a man to fight with me. And if he beat me, we will serve, or if I beat him, all will serve you. David here. David said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine speaking such things against the children of Israel? So the people around now, they're listening to David, so they tell David, Saul said that the man to defeat this Philistines, he will make him rich in the kingdom, and he will take away the taxes from his family, and he will also give him his daughter to wife. So what? Tell me what Saul say again? So they repeated to him what Saul now said. Same time the older brother now Eliab come and say, what are you doing here? You always making trouble, you come down here to make mischief, you're just fast, and you want to see what's going on. David said, I ain't come here, you may feel I come here, I come for a reason. And David just turned back on them and he continued. What he said, tell me again what he said. So they tell David what he said. And they went and tell Saul that David said that this uncircumcised Philistine, who's speaking things against the children of Israel, what he will do to him. So Saul sent and called David. And when Saul sent and called David, David said, fear not, for I will go and I will slay that uncircumcised Philistine. Saul said, you're just a youth. And this Philistine is a fighter from since youth. David said, I'm going to tell you a story. He said, when I was seeing about my father's sheep, a bear and a lion came and grabbed up one of my sheep and go with it. And your servant went behind the bear, and I hold him, and I slew him, and I hold the bear by the beard, and I slaughtered him. And he said, this day, that Philistine will be like one of them bear and one of them lion. Now that is the rock that is talking. That's not David. Like God and man manifested himself. So he said, go and let the Lord be with thee. Saul said, put on these armor, put on this helmet, and take this sword, because you're going to battle. So I want you to be battle ready. And I want a battle garment. David take it off. He said, I can't go with this, because I never proved these things. Which means that I never use no sword. I don't know about helmet. I don't know about all these things you're giving me. I can't walk in it. I can't function in it. I can only be me. And I'm going with what I'm doing. And to the young people, don't try to fashion yourself to be others or look like others or feel you is your own individual. And if God wants to use you, He will use you just as you are. Whether you have education or no education, once God is in it, He will perfect it. So Saul rested down. David rested down. And he take up his little shepherd bag. He went down by the brook. He take out 5 smooth stones, he put them in the bag. He take his staff, because he's a shepherd, and he have a slingshot. And he going down to fight with Goliath. Saul was saying, Lord, have mercy. This boy knows what he getting himself into, but he's under the rock. So he well protected. So when he going down to the battle, he walk up a little further from the others, and he coming up to the Philistines and them. When Goliath see him, Goliath say, who is this little child? You coming at me with slingshot and stone like if I was a dog? And Goliath started to disdain him and curse him by the gods of the Philistines. And the rock started activating David. David said, you coming to me with sword and with shield and with spear, but I am coming to you in the name of the Lord of hosts and in the God of the armies of Israel. And today he will deliver you into my hand, and I will take off your head and I will feed it to the fowls of the air, and I will defy the armies of the Philistines, and the beasts of the field will eat the flesh. And the nations will know that there is a God in Israel. And the people, the congregation around, will know that God does save with spear and sword. But the battle is the Lord's. And David started to draw nigh. And Goliath draw his sword. And David take out with a speed and started running to him. And pull out a stone, put it in his sling, start to spin his sling. When that sling started to spin, he let it go. That stone couldn't go anywhere else but in the forehead of Goliath. Not only that, it penetrated and gone in the head. And the giant come down. When the giant dropped, David ran up on him. But David didn't have no sword. He drew the giant's sword. Take off the head. When the Israelites saw that, they run in. And the Philistines started to run and they chased them. And they started to slaughter them left, right, and center. And David and the people around know from henceforth that there is a God in Israel. When we are called and we are under the rock will instruct us how he wants us to walk, how he wants us to talk, how he wants us to live. Everything will come from the rock. Everything that you need. I remember as a young man going for a job. I only had 3 passes at that time. I'm going for a job and look where I'm going in Neil and Marcy. Mind you, I don't even have a license, but I'm going to work with a car company. So I've gone down, I press my clothes, I say my prayers. I say, Lord, you know, I really need a work and I would like if I could get through the work here. So I'm going to be a sales rep in the parts department. Yes. So I'm going to be the sales rep now. When I reach in the interview room, people in shirt and tie, they file thick social status. Qualifications, the law. my thing roll up and I have it in my hand. I feel it to go back home. Because there's no way I could stand close to these people and them properly qualified. They're sitting upright, so I straighten up myself because at least I will look like something. So I straighten up myself and I sit down on the chair like if I'm bright. The person coming to do the interview, and I just watching the file. So when I reach it for one page, the lady talking to me and think, whatever I sitting and I talking. So then I thought she said, well, I will call you. Well, you know, they tell you that. They call it. So she said, I will call you. I just leave. And I went over in my heart, I kind of sad because I said, you know, you serve with God and you really, God can make a way, an opening, although you ain't really meet it, but if God have all this kind of power, He could still do something to at least get me in. I just say that in my mind, but yet still, you know, in all things you have to give thanks. So I say thank you, don't mind mean it, but I practice it to say the right thing. So I say, Lord, I thank you, I give you praise. God read my heart, you know, I just talking. Me, I vex. But I say it still. And I reached home the night and we had service by the church. So I ironed my clothes. While I ironed my clothes, a voice came and said to me, they're going to call you. But look at the hour. It's 7 o'clock. So I said, well, how they will call me? So I take it on my down the night, I just iron it. Next minute, I hear the house phone ringing. So I tried to get my proper voice to answer it. So, have a good night. She said, is this Reginald? I said, yes, so they came by interview and whatever, they were successful, we want you to come down. I said, okay, thank you. When I hang up that, I said, oh God, I gave you thanks, I gave you praise, I said, Lord, you're real good, you're real good. When I went to church that night, nobody ain't sing like me. I sing hard. I praise God because I'm good. When I reached down there now, I went to be a service advisor. I went to be a sales manager. Sorry, a sales rep. Pass. When I reach now, they tell me I will not be a sales rep for pass. I will be a service advisor. Say, okay, when I reach in the department now, they tell me I will not be a service advisor, I'll be a fleet manager. So what? Me? In charge of fleet hiring vehicles? I don't have no license. So when I reach now, I see the boss, the person in charge of that department. She said, man, I had desk, I'm telling you. I never had a desk that is mine in my life. All of a sudden, I had desk. Next day, I'll bring a picture and I'll put it in my desk. Sitting on the desk. And I have all the files of all the people that applied for that position. So I started to open the files and I started to go through. Degree, associate degree, distinctions, experience. If you see things in them things. So I studied now if to ask why you picked me and you didn't pick these people, if to hush them out and be thankful for what I get. So a day, and a little while when me and the boss get good. I say, oh, but I say, how it is you didn't choose all these people and them that apply for the job? Why it is you choose me? She said, well, I watch these people and them that apply, and me like how they're looking. When I see you, I like how you looking. Just so. I don't like how. She didn't care whether they qualify, whether they ain't qualified. She care how they looking. And somehow I look the part that she wanted, and she team, and I get the work. And I just said, Lord, I give you the thanks because I wasn't qualified. But once you trust in the rock, He will make a way where there seems to be no way. So I come now on my 3 months probation finish. I have to go on a 9 months probation now. So they say they're going to renew my contract. So Avalon said no, make him permanent. They said we cannot make him permanent. According to company policies, he have to go on another 9 months probation. And all the others that coming with me had to go on the 9 months probation. She bypassed she superiors and went to the head of the Dalmas. And she had favor with them, so she called them and tell them she wants to make Reginald permanent. And so they sent to the bosses and tell them to make Reginald permanent, while the others had the temporary contract with you. So your boy permanent. I don't have no license. I have to go and move a car. Well, boy, when I'm going to move this car inside our Tucson, to the side they have brand new Navaras, they even have number plate on them. Your humble servant running to the Navaras.
Oh my God.
When I started to rub down the Navaras, so that a man shouted out, he said, hey, look. I said, I know. I come out of that car so fast. I started to watch to see if cameras. He said, I tried paying out to make out a scene for nobody else. He said, hey, I say, I know. Watching around for camera. My heart wanted to fall out. I want to die. If the ground could open up and put me there, I'm going in. I'm feeling all kind of how. I sit down by the desk and I can't breathe. One of the driver come Carlson. He said, but where do what? I said, I don't know, boy. I don't know what. I said, I don't know what. He said, all right, don't say that, don't tell him that. Now mind you, the Tucson that I was in, I'd rubbed down the other Paris is the boss Tucson. He said, don't tell her that nothing. I come home that day, I pray from night till morning. I prayed, I'm talking to God. I can't sleep, I can't breathe, I can't live. So I come to work the next day. I said, I'm by that desk. And the Lord come in and she facing a front. Jamila by the desk. And me and Jamila sitting by the desk. She said, oh, you believe somebody robbed up my car? I said, true? She said, yeah, somebody robbed up my car. She said, I'm going to let them pull the cameras and let them see you. So I go out to see where them cameras come. You see no cameras. So I go and see where them cameras. So same time, Wendell from the garage called and she said, she tell Wendell, somebody robbed up my car. And they say, just send down the thing now, we go touch it up and we go fix it back. No worry, it's me that man, see how can we go handle that. Wendell, she sent down the car and Wendell fix it back. And throw the I just say, so I will only don't fix back that. Do what under the bridge, don't bother yourself with that. Take up yourself with it, fix back the boy. She said, some people, there's something I said, this one, this on this, I said, for true. And she didn't bother with following through the matter. And the Lord, the rock again, managed to bob and weave me out of the situation. But brethren, I'm saying all this to say, young people, keep your trust and your confidence in God. Don't limit yourself and think that you can't or you can't do. As long as you trust in Almighty God, believe you me, He will make a way for you. He will open doors for you. He will do it. Just trust Him. Don't sell yourself short. Don't give away your body. Don't do things that will make you shame down the road for years. Don't do that. What is meant for you will make its way to you. Trust in the Lord. These are my words.